Hey, this is Mike from Clubcard.
And I'm Tyler, the manager of the place.
And today we're going to talk to you about booklets, digital booklet printing, and some of the frequently asked questions and a few tips and tricks on how to get your book ready for print and to get a great looking booklet. So Tyler, what's one of the most common questions we have? Is it how do we bind books or?
Yeah, it's more how do we bind books and how do people set them up.
Okay.
With the binding, we have a few different types. We have our Chicago screw, which is a new option for us, and we also have saddle stitch booklets.
So saddle stitch, we hear that all the time. What does that actually mean? Is it this? So this is a saddle stitch book.
Yeah, and it's basically the type of binding. So it means that it's a piece of paper and cardstock that we fold in half and staple. And that's what the saddle stitch actually sits. That's how it sits on the stapler.
So it's like throwing a saddle over a horse.
Right.
And then we bind it with staples along the binding edge.
Yeah. And it means that each page count, because each sheet is going to make 4 pages after it's folded in half.
Right. So that's one of the things that people get really confused about is why does a saddle stitch book have to have a 4-page count or a page count divisible by 4? And the reason for that is that when we print, we're printing a flat sheet. We then fold it so it can be put into the book. So as you can see here, once it's folded, that flat sheet now becomes 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets. So from a single two-sided sheet to 4 pages in a book. Mm-hmm. And that's why the page count's divisible by 4.
Yeah, and that's also why, with our booklets, the minimum page count is 8, and that's because, 2 pieces of paper, when you staple together, that's 8 pages. That's as little as you could do.
Gotcha.
If you have a 4-page book, that would be called a brochure in our mind, just like a folded piece of paper or a cardstock.
So you have to be good at your 4 times table.
Yes.
And then the Chicago screw, that's not the case. That's a different
Yeah, with these ones, it's actually individual sheets. So rather than folding it, we're just printing the sheet, and then we're binding it along the edge, just like that. So each sheet is 2 pages. So with this, you're doing increments of 2 for the page count, and it's just front and back, basically.
And so it's 2 count because the sheet is printed front and back. So that's page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4.
Yeah.
Right. And that doesn't have to be divisible by 4 then?
No, not that one.
Cool. And so these are literally just bolts.
Yeah.
Bolts.
Yeah, the Chicago screws are also known as sex bolts, and it's basically just bolts that are different.
Bolts.
Yeah, that's right.
You didn't make that up?
I didn't.
All right.
No. You can look it up on Google.
So, Google it. We're not responsible for what you get when you Google sex bolts, okay? And if your parental lock should be on. All right, so now what's cool about both of these is that I see there's all these different stocks that are available. Like this has a card stock and different pages inside, and this has got craft.
You can do different things. So with our saddle stitch booklets, we have options for self-cover, which is the same stock is used for the cover as the inside guts, but you can also do a cardstock cover, which has a different, heavier cover.
So is guts an official printer?
Oh, guts, yeah. Guts are what we call the inside of a book.
Rude.
I don't know if that's the official print term, but it is a Clubcard. So we've got self-cover book, which the guts are the same as the cover, and then we've got the cardstock cover books, which they have a different cardstock for the cover instead of.
So a self-cover means all the paper is the same all the way through. So like a comic book would be generally a self-cover.
Yeah,
all the same stock.
Totally, typically, yeah. Sometimes you'll see with a glossy cover on the front, like a glossy paper stock, but that's not a standard option, but it's something that we can do as well.
So the other thing I see is that there's all these different sizes. So we've got, like that's an 8.5 by 11.
Mm-hmm.
This is a square. Looks like maybe, I don't know what that is, and then a smaller 4 by 6.
Yeah, so 4 by 6 is the smallest we can do, and then we go up to 8.5 by 11. Well, we actually do a 4 by 4 square, so that's even smaller. So that's the smallest we can do.
So we have a bunch of sizes on the website, but if you don't see a size you want, as long as it's between 4 by 4 and 9 by 12, which is the max, then we can make any size.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're limited to certain orientations. We can't necessarily just flip the paper because the staplers are only so long. But with that, we can do anything as long as it fits within the size that we have online. We can do it.
And I see a calendar here. So a calendar really is just a book.
Yeah, it's just a book flipped on its edge, and then typically we'll do a hole drill on the top if it's going to be something that hangs. But it's also people can do mini calendars as well. So
Nice.
any size of book that we do can also be a calendar.
And So now, let's say I'm printing one of these books and I'm really worried about how it's going to look. How can I get a proof of this?
Yeah, we offer proofs on these products. It's really recommended. Anytime you can see a proof, it gives you an idea of what the color is going to look like, as well as how it's binding with the order of the pages.
So I'll actually get a proof of the book.
Yeah, you'll get a copy of the book that's fully folded and bind. It won't be trimmed out, but it'll give you an idea, so you can actually flip through it and see how it looks, make sure everything's in the right order.
And that'll show me the color on the stock.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a fully made book. It's not just printed on proofing paper or anything, or just individual sheets. You're getting like one copy of the book. Again, it's not trimmed out necessarily, but it'll be stapled so you can flip through it and review it that way. I always recommend that. If you can't come into the shop, we also offer photo proofs as well, or a mailed option, so if you want to get it mailed to you. So it's good options if you're not in a hurry.
So if you're in the boonies, we can mail you a copy and you can actually have it in your hands to look at, and then you can email us and tell us it's good to go.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, I know there's also going to be a video from our production department on how to set up your files for a book. So we won't get into the weeds on that, and I'm probably the last person to go into that anyway. But make sure you check the videos on our page on YouTube and Clubcard TV, and look for the video that is going to outline how to prepare your files for print. That will be done by one of our guys upstairs, probably Nathan or Paul. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to make a comment down below. We answer all the questions you ask. And like the video, subscribe, and we'll make sure you get all of our video updates. And we certainly like it when you subscribe, and we give things away to subscribers too. Thanks for watching.